Okay, so we're coming into our second independent project, and so the question is, what will you create? Um, so last semester we had a Google form set up for the people in Ceramics 2 and Ceramics 3, and they found some artists that they liked and shared them with me. So I'm going to share them with you. Um, this is a super cool piece, or group of pieces by Brett Kern. Elise picked this, and they look like balloon animals, of course, um, but they aren't. They're clay. And I think anytime you do something like that, where it looks like one thing but it is another thing, there's an interesting kind of contrast there and intrigue. If something looks like it's supposed to be soft, like a purse or a dress or something like that, and then you realize it's hard, like the fired clay, there's something kind of intriguing about that transformation, physical transformation. I also really like this piece by Christopher David. So if you want to look up some more of his stuff, we got these beautiful hands that become like this bridge. Talk about technical mastery. But even just the idea that the hands kind of have two different textures and that the wood grain down here feels tree-like, that becomes hand-like. I think this is all sort of fun. Um, Lila picked out these cool little vessels, and I was looking at this one. I thought that looks like a rabbit, and then we have like a mother and child, but these could be salt and pepper shakers. And I'm not sure if this one has like an animal reference to me, but I love the kind of like unexpected opening at the top there. We had two people pick this, Robert Lugo, and these kinds of extravagantly detailed drawings on top of his teapots. I don't know if these are stencils or they're drawn on there, but we do have um, underglaze pencils that we can start to experiment with if you like drawing. And of course, a teapot's always a great idea for fun. Oh, Katie Sprague was picked up by Cooper Weiler, which I thought this is really, really interesting. She's made like these little grasses and looks like she's installed them in space. Um, so maybe putting something in a place that isn't expected could be something you could be interested in. Oh, I gotta click here. There. Brendan picked out this vase that I thought was cool because of the really crazy handles. I could see this being stacked pieces, like throwing this part and then this part and then hand building this part and hand building these handles. So a real technical challenge. But things like handles, lips, stacked forms, those are all great ideas. Alex also picked out this one, which look at how like simplistic the sculpting is, and then how fantastically detailed the painting of it is, which I think is fun. And interestingly enough, Alex also picked this one that looked like the person really had fun with like experimenting with a bunch of like different glazes being sort of splattered onto this kind of rough surface. So two very different kinds of pieces there that I like. And then lastly, I picked out this one. This is Lana Wilson, who I've talked to you guys maybe about before. But she does these sort of slumping teapot and box forms, and then cups and folded pottery, all painted with underglazes and glazes, and creating lots of textures. So, like this kind of a form, I know exactly how to make that. This kind of a form, I know exactly how to make that. Um, these little feet and that sort of thing. So, we could do another kind of like a drop pot like that. So, there's just some ideas to get you going. And I'll escape out of here and we will stop this. But get thinking. What are you going to make next?